Okay. All right, thank you, Benoit, for coming up and being a volunteer. So I'm going to demonstrate how to work on a phobia. And the main thing is we want to avoid putting too much more stress on you than you probably feel right now, being up here. So we just want to be very careful not to obviously talk about at this stage what the phobia is, because that could for you be very triggering, it might not be. But I'm assuming that even saying the word might make you feel really anxious. So I know that you said you've got a phobia. Now I'm just going to say I don't know what it is at this stage. But even just getting close to it, could you give me a number? Perhaps could you guess the number of intensity out of 10 of what it could be if you started talking about it?
Yeah, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, so that's too high. We want to get it to 5 or below if we can. So, I'm just going to go quite gently with this, but we'd like to, we're not going to talk about what the phobia is, but could you give it some kind of title which is a bit silly? So it doesn't make you really think about it too much and get into the details.
A bit silly. The swim of your life.
The swim. Should we keep it in the swim?
The swim, yeah.
The swim? Simple, yeah? So, and the guess number was 8? Yeah, of what it could be. So we're just going to start tapping the top of the head, and we're just going to say, this swim movie.
This swim movie.
We're just going to call it a movie, yeah? Eyebrow. I have this movie.
I have this movie.
Side of the eye. I've called it the swim.
I've called it the swim.
Under the eye. This swim movie.
This swim movie.
I have something I want to work on.
I have something I want to work on.
Something the chin. I'll go there when I feel ready and calm.
I'll go there when I feel ready and calm.
Good. Collarbone. It involves the swim.
It involves the swim.
Under the arm. But I'm not ready to go there yet.
I'm ready to go there yet.
Good. Tap in the ribs. This thing called the swim.
This thing called the swim.
Take a breath in for me. And let it go. And we're going to go straight into the 9 gamut. So hand on your heart, tapping between the middle finger and the ring finger. Good, about an inch away from your wrist. Finding a focal point in front of you. And I don't want you to think about this issue, but you kind of know it's there and we're going to start working on it. But look straight ahead. Do you have any sensation in your body?
A bit of tension in my stomach and my legs.
Yeah, so just being with it. And look hard down left. And look straight ahead. Look hard down right. Look straight ahead. If you need to breathe in gently through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. Great. And now I'm going to get you to follow my finger. And we're going to go slowly around. Just going to say, this issue.
This issue.
I'll work on it when I feel calm.
I'll work on it when I feel calm.
I've called it the swim.
I've called it the swim.
Some tension in my stomach.
I have some tension in my stomach.
And in my legs.
And in my legs.
There's tension in my stomach.
There's tension in my stomach.
And in my legs.
And in my legs.
The swim.
The swim.
And breathing in. Relax your shoulders on the out breath. How are your legs feeling in your stomach? About the same?
Yeah, about the same.
About the same. And we're going to go back the opposite way. Okay. Can I say the word phobia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have a phobia.
I have a phobia.
I've called it the swim.
I call it the swim.
It's about something else.
It's about something else.
But I'm choosing to feel calm first.
But I'm choosing to feel calm first.
Good. This feeling in my stomach.
This feeling in my stomach.
And in my legs.
And in my legs.
This tension.
This tension.
When I think about it.
When I think about it.
The swim.
The swim.
Okay, breathing in. And release and let go. I'm just going to do a quick check-in on the guest number. If you were to start telling me about the issue, you said it was an 8 out of 10, the guest number. What would it be now if you took a quick guess?
Yeah, for 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
5.
Okay. Does that mean that you're okay to start telling me about what it is? Or would you like to do...
I think that's fine.
Is this?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make that clear because some people, just like I said to you before, you don't have to bring it down. And he's already said it's, you know, I'm not sure, it's not that bad, but I do have a phobia about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we will start, getting into more details if that's okay. Okay, so are you able to say actually what the phobia is about?
Yes, like being scared of sharks. So even if I swim, even if it's not very, I'd say even if it's quite shallow, like.
Yes. When you even say that word though, now is there any reaction as you just said any of that?
Yeah, a bit. Like, can I try to imagine this morning I went for a swim and I wasn't so far from the beach anyway.
Yeah.
Like it was maybe like 2 meters depth or something. But you know, I saw a few fishes and I was like, oh, maybe this, you know, I don't know, it could be I don't know.
When you say that now though, is there a reaction a little bit? I'm just sort of
a bit of
out of 10, how much of a reaction are you having when you think about the fish that could have been something else?
Yeah, it's maybe 8 or 7 or 8.
7 or 8. So where do you feel that in your body?
I would say
Right
kind of in
now?
my legs, but also sort of my
Yeah.
chest or just
Okay.
a bit of
We'll just go
sensation
top
around
of
here.
the head. This sensation in my chest and legs.
It's sensation in my chest and legs.
Eyebrow point. I was swimming this morning,
I was swimming this morning.
so just as comfortably as you can without distressing yourself. You can remember that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And just take yourself there as comfortably as you can, side of the eye. I saw some fish
I saw some fish.
under the eye. I wondered if they were just fish,
I wondered if it was just fish.
and I can feel this reaction in my body now.
I can feel this reaction in my body now.
Yep, tapping the chin. This sensation in my legs
This sensation in my legs.
and in my stomach.
In
Oh,
my-
sorry, chest, stomach.
Yeah, it's kind of moving a bit like in my
Good,
stomach.
okay, collarbone. I wondered whether they were sharks
I wondered whether
or
there
whether
was
it
shark.
was a shark.
Or
What did you wonder?
Yeah, it could be also a
Could
shark
be.
around. Like,
Yeah, under the arm. Did you feel a little bit anxious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
All this anxiety,
All these anxieties.
tapping the ribs. I wondered if it could have been a shark.
I wondered if it could have been a shark.
Is that okay to say that?
Yeah.
Top of the head. All this anxiety,
All this anxiety.
eyebrow. I wondered for a minute, could it be a shark?
I wondered for a minute, could it be a shark?
Side of the eye. This anxiety about could it be a shark?
This anxiety about could it be a shark?
And do you get a reaction particularly anywhere? Is it everywhere or is it moving or
Yeah, it's like a bit of tension here as
Yeah.
well, a bit of tension in
Yeah.
the legs. Yeah.
this tension in my arms and legs,
This tension in my arms and legs.
under the nose? It's almost like I'm bracing,
It's like almost
like you're bracing,
I'm
sort of tense.
bracing, yeah.
Tapping the chin. I felt under threat.
I felt under threat.
All this anxiety.
All this anxiety.
I thought, could it be a shark?
I thought could it be a shark?
Under the arm, all this anxiety, it could have been a shark.
All this anxiety could have been a shark.
Tapping the ribs. This anxiety in my arms and legs.
This anxiety in my arms and legs.
Top of the head. I feel a bit anxious thinking about this morning.
I feel a bit anxious thinking about it this morning.
Eyebrow point. I feel anxious. I saw fish, but I thought, could it be a shark?
I felt anxious. I saw fish, but could it be a shark?
Let's take a pause and a break. Just noticing how everything's settling down and what's the number out of 10 right now of intensity in your body?
Yeah, it's probably so. Actually, the body is a bit tense, but I mean the feeling itself is not as strong. So
Okay, so the anxiety is not so strong.
it's not as strong.
Good.
Maybe a 5 or something like that.
Okay, but there's still tension in your legs.
Yeah, and a bit in the sort of bit in the chest and
Yeah.
arms a bit. Yeah.
I just wanted, for the point of the demonstration, I want to make just explain something. Can you see I've not even asked about any history to do with it? Because I want you to feel calm before. Because what I would like to know eventually is, have you had any experience of something negative with a shark?
Yeah.
But we'll just take a little bit more of the edge off first and then see where we go. Because we want to find the root of where this began.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one with something like a shark, because we naturally have this inbuilt mechanism to be aware, same as spiders and snakes, not to go stroking them and stuff. So we've got with EFT, it doesn't take that away. It doesn't make you ambivalent and like, oh, it's fine. But it makes you, I suppose, what it helps you to just to feel balance with it. Yeah. So can you tell me again about, just retesting that little bit about what happened this morning with the fish and what you thought they might have been or what it could have been? Just tell me that bit again.
Yeah, so I went for a swim. It wasn't very shallow, but I saw some fishes, and then I thought, there could be a shark. And every time I swim, I do think about it.
So when you say that again now, is there a rise in anxiety, or is it different, or?
Yeah, a bit, but it's definitely less strong. It could
Less
be
strong?
maybe 6 or something like this,
But
or
it's still
5.5. Yeah, actually, I think it's okay. It's just because I have a bit of tension, more physical tension still.
Yes,
The
yes.
actual anxiety is less.
Okay. We're just going to do one more round of the physical tension, and I'd like to ask you some more questions,
Sure.
if that's okay. So back to the side of the hand. Out of 10 now, how much is the tension bothering you?
The physical
Yes,
tension.
the physical tension, yeah.
Bothering me. Okay.
Out of 10, how strong is the tension?
Maybe I would say yes, 7.
Seven, yeah.
7, yeah.
So even though I have
Like,
this tension in my legs, yeah,
even though I have this tension in my legs
and my arms, it's related to feeling like I'm under threat.
it's related to feeling like I'm under threat.
Would that be a true statement?
Yeah.
Yeah? Similar to what we talked about before with the social stuff. I love and accept myself,
I love and accept myself,
and I'm open to acknowledging.
and I'm open to acknowledging
My body's giving me feedback.
that my body is giving me feedback.
I'd like to give my body feedback now,
I'd like to give my body feedback now,
and let myself know I'm actually safe.
and myself know that I'm actually safe,
Okay. And I'm okay,
and I'm okay,
even though I'm not fully okay.
even though I'm not fully okay.
I'm working on it right now.
I'm working on it right now.
Is those words okay?
Yeah.
Good. Top of the head, this tension in my legs and arms.
This tension in my legs and arms.
Eyebrow. I thought it could have been shark.
I thought it could have
Just
been a
stay with
shark.
that for a moment, Sadia. This tension in my legs and my arms.
This tension in my legs and my arms.
Under the eye. I thought maybe it could have been shark.
I thought maybe it could have been a shark.
Under the nose. This tension in my legs and in my arms.
This tension in my legs and in my arms.
Tapping the chin. It wasn't a shark.
It wasn't a shark.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
And I'm okay.
And I'm okay.
Collarbone. This remaining tension in my legs and my arms.
This remaining tension in my legs and my
Is
arms.
there anything you feel you'd like to add to the wording?
No, probably not. That's alright.
Yeah?
It's more in the legs and I was thinking not too much
Not
in
so
the arms
down.
anymore.
Okay, this remaining tension in my legs.
This remaining tension in my legs.
I choose to let it go now.
I choose to let it go now.
I choose to feel comfortable to talk more about it.
I choose to feel comfortable to talk more
Is
about
that
it.
true? Do you
Yeah,
feel,
that's
yeah?
fine.
Should we stop and just take a little break and a check in? Maybe use your breath to let go, and actually move your legs around. And maybe if you even want to stand up and walk around, it might help. Just to get to, because it's energy again. We just want to just discharge that.
Bit of dancing.
Yeah, yeah, so it was a nice little move there, wasn't it? So, can you tell me, has there been anything that's happened in your life?
Yeah, actually, it was the first time I swam at Bondi Beach.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't know, I didn't really care about sharks. I thought that they were only very rare, which kind of was true. But then, well, it was 15 years ago, but I went for a swim and I just went behind the surfers, like maybe like
Yes.
100 meters away, I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure how much. But then suddenly there was an alarm, like after maybe
Oh yeah. I want to just interrupt just for a minute. As you're telling me this story of what happened 15 years ago, I'm going to be doing a process called the movie technique, just to kind of release all the tension and stress around this memory. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Are
sure.
you happy to tell me about this event?
Yeah, sure.
So I'd like you to stop and let me know if you get any physical sensation or any anxiety around what happened.
Yeah,
So we
so
can tap on it.
because so I think I start feeling a bit of tension already because I kind of know what's going to happen.
yeah.
Because at that point I wasn't stressed, I guess.
No,
I was
okay.
just going for a swim, and it was
Yeah.
the first time I was very happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it was just a few weeks after I arrived.
yeah,
A week after I arrived, and then I went, sort of a bit like not far, but like just behind where the surfers are, and I was like, cool, I'm quiet, like nobody's there, South Bondi, and then I just went for a swim because I was confident in terms of swimming,
yeah.
and then I suddenly see all the surfers leave, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit weird, but I don't know. I like to
Let
keep
me know
swimming.
at any point you get any.
There was a bit of stress there, but just because at that point I wasn't having real.
Okay.
Now I feel a bit anxious, but actually at that point really I wasn't.
But it's worth acknowledging just a bit,
Okay.
a couple of rounds. I feel a bit
Yeah.
anxious.
I feel a bit
Because you
anxious.
kind of want, I think you kind of want to tell me the bit.
Uh,
Sorry, I want to check in.
yeah.
Is it worth acknowledging this anxiety that's here now, or you're more keen to go to the next bit?
Yeah, I think maybe it's worth it because I did start to feel a bit
Top of
anxious
the
at
head,
that point.
yeah. Just stay with that part of the movie. All this anxiety.
All this anxiety.
Eyebrow. I feel anxious because.
I feel anxious because.
Say why in your words.
Because.
Right now, why do you feel anxious?
I was swimming and suddenly all the surfers left.
That's it. Remember that bit. All this anxiety.
All this anxiety.
Everything was fine 1 minute.
Everything was fine 1 minute.
And then the next, the surfers all moved.
And then the next, the surfers all moved.
Having the chin, something wasn't right.
Something wasn't right.
All this anxiety.
All this anxiety.
Collarbone. I feel anxious now remembering this.
I feel anxious now remembering this.
Under the arm. I feel really a bit anxious right now.
I feel really a bit anxious right now.
I thought it was going to be fine.
I thought it was going to be fine.
And then I saw all the surfers move.
And I saw all
Can
the
you feel
surfers
the
move.
anxiety?
Yeah.
Top of the head. All this anxiety now remember.
All this anxiety that I
When I
remember.
remember, yeah. All this anxiety in my body.
All this anxiety in my body.
Anything else you want to say, Benoit? Why you feel anxious? What did you make it mean, or what did you think?
Yeah, I could have sort of maybe not sure what's happening. Not sure what's happening here now.
Yeah. All this anticipation.
All this
Under the
anticipation.
nose. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening.
Did you think something's wrong at that point? Something's not right?
Possibly, yeah. So
Yeah.
there was a bit of tension maybe.
Yeah. All this tension in my body.
All this tension in my body.
Collarbone. I recall feeling. I feel anxious now
I feel anxious now.
when I remember all the surfers moving.
And I remember all the surfers moving.
I feel anxious in my body,
I feel anxious in my body.
but I'm here to let it go.
But I'm here to let it go.
Tapping the ribs. I'm here to let this anxiety go.
I'm here to let this anxiety go.
Let's take a pause and a breath again. Because this is slightly tricky because you can see there's another bit to this and he'll want to get to that, but we need to acknowledge it all. So is there anything happening for you now when you sit here? How strong is the anxiety?
It's a bit tricky to differentiate between the anxiety and the body. The body tension is quite strong. So the body tension in my body is pretty strong actually. It's like maybe a 9 or something.
Is it? Let's just acknowledge that again. So even though it's really strong right now,
even though it's really strong right now,
is it linked to a particular thought, Benoit? Are you thinking about the next bit of what happened?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the next bit?
Yeah.
So we can get it out? I think it's worth it, yeah? Just tell me a little bit about it as you tap on your hand.
Yeah, what happened is that eventually, probably after they left, like maybe 10 minutes after, there was the alarm, you know, the
alarm, yes.
And then everybody left the beach.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, that's weird. I didn't even know why it was, you know.
Okay.
I didn't really actually know.
Just tap and talk, top of the head.
So then I swam back, and then I went to see a lifeguard. I'm like, what's happening?
Side of the
He
eye.
was saying that there was a surfer in South Bondi who saw a shark, a big shark apparently.
A big shark. So when you say that now, are you still tense?
Yeah, quite
Under the nose, all this tension.
all this tension.
The alarms went off.
The alarms went off.
Everybody got out.
Everybody got out.
And the lifeguard told me.
And the lifeguard told
Say it
me.
in your words again as you tap.
There was apparently surfers saw a big shark swimming in South Bondi, and then I was surprised, and he said watch the news in the evening because there's a helicopter and you're gonna show it on camera.
Okay, so just with all of that, how strong is your anxiety now? Remembering it's a big shark, it was out there. Out of 10, how strong is the anxiety now?
The anxiety itself, actually, I would say. So I'm trying to differentiate between the tension and the
Which
anxiety.
is the biggest? Is it more the tension or the anxiety? The fear or the sensation in your body?
It's good because I feel better about it, so I don't feel as tense in a way, like in my mind. I don't feel as anxious.
Good.
But the body tension is still there, I would say. Because, I guess the end of the story is that when I watched the news in the evening, because I wasn't as bad until really I watched the news.
Okay, so more to this, okay, yeah.
And when I watched the news, they could literally there were actually 2 sharks, and they were massive actually, and they said sort of 6 or 7 or something.
Right.
And I was like, and literally they were where I was actually swimming, and I was like, wow, I was actually swimming next to the sharks.
When you say that now, is there any anxiety or is it more a story? Or
it's a bit better, yeah, it's a bit better. Still a bit of tension, but less anxiety.
We're going to just do this acknowledgement of that.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit more I want to do. So
there was a bit of a shock when I watched the news, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe think about that bit.
Yeah.
Even though I got really shocked.
Even though I got really
let's start again. Even though it was a shocking experience anyway.
Even though it was a shocking experience anyway.
I thought it was safe to be in the sea,
I thought it was safe to be in the sea.
and suddenly all these surfers just got out of the water.
And suddenly I might just change something.
Say it in your
and
words.
then the first time I go to the sea and
Yes.
there are sharks around me.
Okay, it's important that it was the first
Yeah,
time
for
for
the
you.
first time.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging that right now.
I'm acknowledging that right now.
If I say this wrong, let me know. I'm
Yes.
open to the possibility
I'm open to the possibility
that
that
big sharks aren't in the vicinity of swimmers all the time.
big sharks aren't in the vicinity of swimmers all the time.
And even though they live in the ocean,
And even though they live in the ocean,
it's the chances of being hurt by them
the chances of being hurt by them
are low. Would you say low?
are very minimal. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay for you to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Extremely low.
But I'm going to let some more of this stress go around it.
Cool.
Yeah, good. So let's go top of the head. It was a really big thing.
It was a really big thing,
Eyebrow, but it got even bigger when I watched it on the news.
but it got even bigger when I watched it on the news.
Side of the eye. Just remember that news clip. The two big sharks were where I were.
Two big sharks were where?
Under the eye. Two big sharks I saw.
Two big sharks. So
Yeah, and that's where I was.
that's where I was.
Under the nose. So it's no wonder I've been anxious about sharks.
So it's no wonder I've been anxious about
I was
sharks.
very close to sharks.
I was very close to sharks.
Collarbone. What's the feeling around that when you say that?
Yeah, a bit of emotion.
Bit
I must
emotion.
say.
Yeah. All this emotion.
All this emotion.
Yeah. I was so close to that.
I was so close to that.
Yeah. Just go with it. There's some emotion coming up.
Some
you know,
emotion coming up
top
now.
of the head. When I saw it on the news, good.
Oh,
good,
sweet.
good. Yeah, no, it's good. Johnny's good. Eyebrow. You want to say anything else? I was close to say your words, Ben. We'll get it
I
down.
can't believe how close I was to maybe see them. I can't believe I could have potentially see them while I was swimming.
Yeah. So just go with what you need to say.
And they might have seen me even. And
And that makes me feel
make me feel quite stressed,
and vulnerable. Yeah.
vulnerable.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
I felt really vulnerable.
I felt really vulnerable.
I felt even more vulnerable when I saw what could have happened.
I felt even more when I saw what
Well,
could have
sorry,
happened.
that's not quite right, is it? But you probably felt even more vulnerable when you realised how close they were to you.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and that makes me feel emotional.
makes you emotional. That I could
Yeah.
have been in danger.
That's
Could have-
right.
could have.
Yeah. I didn't feel. I realised I was under threat.
I realized I was under threat.
Under the arm. I realised that was a big deal,
I realized that was a big deal.
but I didn't get hurt.
But I didn't get hurt.
I didn't get bitten,
I didn't get beaten.
and I'm okay.
And I'm okay.
Tap in the ribs, but I do feel emotional about this.
But I do feel emotional about this.
I felt under threat.
I felt under threat.
I felt even more under threat when I watched it later.
I felt even more under threat when I watched it later.
Yeah, top of the head. This remaining anxiety
This remaining anxiety
about being under threat by sharks.
about being under threat by a shark.
Eyebrow point. Was there anything else you want to say?
But I guess like in the end, you know, nothing happened, and
Yeah.
they probably actually did see me, but they didn't.
Yeah. Just took them around and want to see what else you come up with, because there could be something else. They maybe did see me
They maybe did see me,
under the eye, but I'm okay,
but I'm okay.
and nothing happened
Nothing happened.
under the nose. Sharks can be really dangerous.
Sharks can be very dangerous.
Tap in the chin. However, sharks.
However, sharks.
What else do you want to say about sharks?
Sharks actually are just like any fish that just swim around against it, don't. And because logically I know that
Yeah.
they usually would attack more at night or
Yes,
when they're
yes.
trying to. They're not really
Yeah.
trying to look
Yeah.
for humans. I guess.
Yeah.
So they're not looking for humans. They were
Yeah.
just swimming around.
Okay. So how does all that feel when you say that?
Yeah, it's really calming. I think.
Good.
Feels like a little bit of tension. The legs still kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost like they wanna.
Yeah, of course they want to get away. They want to
Right.
swim away. Yeah. Under the arm. So this remaining tension.
It's remaining tension.
My body wants to get away
My body wants to get away,
when it feels under threat,
and it feels under stress.
and sometimes I can't get away.
Sometimes I can't get
So
away.
it's just excess energy.
So it's just excess energy.
Thank you, legs,
Tension
for showing up.
for showing up,
But you're okay.
but you're okay.
You didn't get bitten off.
You didn't get it.
Thought I could throw that in there. Felt the vibe was okay. Top of the head. Maybe look at your legs for a minute. Thank you, legs.
Thank you, legs.
There's nothing wrong with you,
There's nothing wrong
even
with
though
you.
you get tense sometimes.
Even though you get tense sometimes.
Eyebrow. You're safe. We're safe.
You're safe. we are safe.
Side, even though my mind may tell me otherwise.
Even though my mind may tell me otherwise.
When I'm in the sea.
When I'm in the sea.
When I'm out in public.
When I'm out in public.
You're amazing, Legs.
You're amazing, Legs.
You've given me more information today.
You've given me more information today.
And I really love you.
I really love you.
And you're still with me.
And you're still with me. God.
Okay, let's take a breather. You might want to walk around again, just to see how your legs are feeling. Little dance move So we're just going to test and start wrapping up.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your phobia of sharks? Anything at all about how you feel about sharks, even if you want to tell me a bit more of the story about maybe what you saw on TV, just to test it out, see how you're feeling.
Yeah, so I feel a bit like, I'd say like, almost like I went for a swim, like I'm like,
yeah.
The energy is quite strong, and my
Yeah.
brain is quite, not overwhelming, but yeah, I feel a bit like, almost like I need a bit of time to calm down a bit. Like,
yeah, and this is very, you're in a group.
yeah,
I've done this, 20 minutes or something we've been going, so it's been quite rapid and intense, and there's maybe some more tail enders, we call it, yet there are little bits left to do. But for the purpose of the demonstration, I just want to make sure you're feeling better than maybe what you would have done before about sharks. So you still feel a bit sort of like buzzy, and a bit
buzzy.
And I think that will dissipate and integrate in the next 24 hours. The test, of course, is to get in the ocean next time and see how you feel.
I'll go right after.
Oh, great, yeah, because you go a lot, don't you? Do you feel, is there anything to share with the group about how you feel now compared to maybe what you would have thought about going in the sea before, or sharks? Or?
Yeah, I mean, when I imagine now, I do feel a bit less triggered. So if I imagine myself just after that workshop, going to the going for a swim, like in Manly on Shelly Beach, then I do feel a bit less worried about going for a swim. That's how I feel now.
Good, okay.
Good,
so just test it out and let us know. Yeah. If I was to go further with this, and if it's okay with you, I might pause it here.
Yeah, sure.
If I was in a session, I would be getting to the point where I would want to see if it was possible for you to look at a picture of a shark, and even one that's moving. So I would make sure that I'd get you. I would certainly not be getting books out now and going, let's test it out, because that's more pieces, more aspects maybe to do, especially with anything, spiders, sharks, or anything. But that would be the real test, of course, to go out in the ocean and actually see a real one. But the closest thing we'd have in a session is for me to show pictures.
Yeah, I can see there would be a bit of tension still, but it's not as strong. Maybe. So that's the thing. That's what I want to test it out.
Yeah. So please let us know, and thanks for coming up here and putting yourself out to show. And it'll be interesting to see, because it's your legs. Being grateful for your legs. They've just been
it's always the thing. It comes down to.
Because it's that primitive sort of got to get away.